DL Hughley just lit the internet up, blasting Snoop Dogg for doing the very thing he once mocked others for.
It amazes me that to convince black people that Donald Trump cares about them, he takes pictures with celebrities. It's amazing to me. If Donald Trump cared about black people, he wouldn't have denigrated the president with those claims of birth.
The comedian didn't bite his tongue. He's calling Snoop out hard, saying the rap legend finally showed his true colors. Fans are glued to their screens, watching this drama unfold like a movie.
Going on in the industry for a whole years, for decades. And at the same time, you know, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience. Suge, you said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about situations, you know, hurt people, that someone was used, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was used and he now uses?
Yeah.
It all started when DL reposted an old 2017 clip where Snoop clowned black artists for performing at Donald Trump's inauguration. Back then, Snoop threw shade saying, "Which one of you Uncle Tom Ninja's gonna do it?" and straight up cold and dismissive. But now, in 2025...
Still, I'm not performing. I am in Washington, D.C. right now, but I'm not performing. It's a private vibe I'm doing with my brother Snoop Dogg.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the dope, ready to make.
Snoop himself just stepped on stage at a Trump event, standing shoulder to shoulder with Nelly and Rick Ross. The internet went wild. People are calling him out left and right, sellout, busta, and worse. One fan even joked that Snoop puffed up his chest and said, "Yes, sir, I'll dance for you, sir." The backlash is brutal, and folks can't believe one of hip-hop's most rebellious icons is cozying up to the same kind of crowd he once trashed.
Right, I think he beat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rell, you know the truth. Clyde Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling.
And the timing? Terrible. Snoop's already facing whispers about his alleged ties to Diddy, rumors that he's been playing both sides, and even claims he's been feeding info to the feds. Add Suge Knight recently calling Snoop the real industry rat, and now it's a full-blown storm ready to explode.
Win tonight, man. You sharp as a mosquito. What's going down? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Ooh. Bang, bang.
Suge Knight's been hinting for years that Snoop Dogg wasn't as loyal to Tupac as fans believed. He's been planting seeds of doubt, saying Snoop straight up lied about visiting Pac in the hospital after the shooting. According to Suge, that whole "I got kicked out trying to see Pac" story.
I knew that Pac did everything right about him by putting him on All Eyes on Me, speaking about him and being real with him. And if it's true what they say.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Face-to-face is going to be a lot of explaining to do. Only way you have a radio if you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail. Now, I'm not having a security detail. What are you doing?
Cap! He claims Snoop never even showed up. And when the man behind death row says that, people start paying attention real quick. Now mix that with Snoop's Trump controversy, and his reputation is sinking fast.
First one to do it. I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the one of you Uncle Tom for doing it. Which one of you gonna
The cool uncle of hip-hop image cracking right in front of everyone's eyes. DL Hughley isn't letting it slide either. He's shining a spotlight on every single flaw, every contradiction, every broken promise. When Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross popped up at a Trump event, the internet went into meltdown mode. Fans were furious, calling it a betrayal of everything hip-hop once stood for. The irony stung too. Snoop once mocked others, saying, "Which one of you gonna do it first?" Now he's the one standing on stage. But Nelly wasn't staying quiet. He clapped back online in a convo with rapper Willie D, saying, "I'm not doing this for the money. It's an honor. I respect the office. Period." He even added that he'd perform for Biden or Kamala Harris too, trying to frame it as business, not politics. But DL wasn't having it. He jumped on Instagram with smoke, writing, "Trump propping up white supremacy isn't just his past, Nelly, it's who he still is today." Then he doubled down, reposting Snoop's old clip from 2017 to let the hypocrisy speak for itself. The message hit hard. DL's not just trolling, he's exposing what he sees as straight up fake energy. And truth be told, he's been consistent about this since day one. Back in 2017, when Steve Harvey and Ben Carson met with Trump, DL went off saying, "It amazes me that to convince black people Trump cares, he takes pictures with celebrities." DL didn't stop there. He hit even harder, saying if Trump truly cared about black people, he wouldn't have pushed those racist birther lies about Obama or used rappers and athletes as props. His point was sharp. Trump doesn't see black artists as equals, just entertainment. DL dropped the line that had social media shaking, "They'd rather see us run the ball than run the country." That hit like a punch. So when DL saw Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross performing for Trump, he couldn't stay silent. To him, this wasn't business. It was submission. Plain and simple. In DL's eyes, Trump wasn't showing love to hip-hop. He was flexing power. He said Trump's move was psychological, about proving he could make Snoop, a man who once mocked him, bow down on stage. And honestly, when you look at it like that, it sounds believable. DL pointed out something slick, too. Trump didn't bring back Waka Flocka, Kodak Black, or Lil Pump this time. Those names already served their purpose when Trump needed loud, headline-grabbing support. But Snoop? That's a whole different level. Snoop's name carries real weight, global fame, crossover appeal, and credibility that hits every corner of pop culture. That's why DL says Trump's team picked him. It wasn't random, it was strategic. And the internet proved him right because the reaction was explosive. Memes, edits, and ruthless jokes flooded every platform. One user quoted DMX saying, "They sold their souls to the devil, and the price was cheap." Another wrote, "After Snoop's Olympic moment, he thought he was untouchable." Guess not. Others went deep, accusing him of being an informant, saying it's suspicious how he's suddenly everywhere, from commercials to the Olympics to random endorsements. Then came the comment that shut the room down. When you get enough money, you'll excuse anything you do wrong. But money can't erase history. That one hit people in their core. The internet's done pretending. Fans are over the celebrity double standards. No matter how legendary Snoop's career is, 2025's audience remembers everything. Now the big question burning up the timeline, did Snoop, Nelly, and Ross just fumble their legacy for a check? Or was it truly just business? The debate is wild right now. Half the culture's calling it betrayal, the other half's brushing it off as politics. But either way, one thing's clear. Snoop's reputation just took a brutal hit. Between Soog's claims and DL's takedown, it's looking like we're watching a slow public unraveling of one of hip-hop's most untouchable icons. And if those rumors about Snoop playing both sides keep spinning, this whole saga's just heating up. The pressure around him isn't dying down. It's getting worse by the day. Every move he makes now gets torn apart online, like people are just waiting for that one wrong step. What started as a simple performance scandal has turned into a full-blown cultural earthquake. DL Hughley's post didn't just call out hypocrisy, it cracked open a vault of old whispers and secrets folks been sitting on for years. Now, Snoop's past comments, his old friends, and even his polished Hollywood image are being dragged back into the spotlight. Fans are asking the real question, who does Snoop actually stand with? The streets? The culture? Or whoever signs the biggest check? See, Snoop's come up was never simple. Back in the death row days, he was the voice of the West Coast, the laid-back gangster repping the streets with slick confidence. But Suge Knight's latest claims hit deep. From behind bars, Suge said Snoop's been playing both sides since day one. That while Tupac was out riding hard, Snoop was staying neutral, keeping friendly with everybody and quiet when things got real. Then Suge took it even further, accusing Snoop of hiding major secrets about what really went down between Pac and Death Row before that tragic Vegas night. Snoop ain't who y'all think he is, Suge allegedly said, calling him the industry's biggest rat since the 90s. Heavy words from a man who lived that era up close. And when you mix that with all the Hollywood love Snoop's been getting lately, the story takes on a whole new meaning. Commercials, Olympic appearances, kids shows, cooking with Martha Stewart, Snoop's turned himself into America's favorite uncle. But not everyone's buying that clean-cut image, especially the ones who remember where he really came from. The internet started asking the real question. How did a Crip rapper from Long Beach turn into a corporate mascot? Then the theories started flying. People began connecting dots, saying maybe the reason Snoop's been untouchable for decades is because he's protected by more than fame. Once the industry informant rumor caught fire, social media went wild. Fans started digging up old clips and receipts, moments where Snoop walked away untouched while everyone around him got crushed. Think about it. During Death Row's wildest years, everybody took hits. Pac's gone, Suga's locked, Dre dipped. But somehow, Snoop slid through untouched and kept stacking wins. Some folks call it smart business, but others swear it's something deeper. One viral comment summed it up. Notice how Snoop never really gets touched, never canceled, never dragged for long. That ain't luck. The comment section erupted. True or not, perception is everything. And right now, people are looking at Snoop in a whole new way. DL Hughley's criticism only added more fuel to the blaze. His message wasn't just about Trump, it cut deeper, straight to accountability. For DL, it's not about who you perform for, it's about what message you send when you do, especially when you once said you'd never cross that line. DL came out swinging, saying Snoop's move wasn't just bad optics, it was betrayal to the culture. He called out the contradiction between Snoop's old school gangster image and his new play it safe political vibe. That hit a nerve, especially now when fans crave authenticity more than ever. Social media hasn't stopped buzzing since. Some fans think Snoop's just trying to stay relevant in a fast-moving industry, while others believe it's way deeper, like there's power games happening behind the scenes. And poor Nelly didn't help the situation at all. When he said, "I respect the office," people instantly clowned him online, saying that's just code for "I got paid." The whole thing's spiraling, and Snoop's once bulletproof image? It's looking shakier than ever. Rick Ross tried to stay quiet through all the chaos, but that silence didn't save him either. He got dragged just for standing next to Snoop and Nelly. One fan tweeted, "Ross went from hustling to hustling for Trump." That single comment blew up. Thousands of retweets, and the streets weren't feeling it at all. The backlash was brutal. Older hip-hop heads started chiming in too, saying this whole moment proves how far the culture's drifted. Back in the 90s, rappers stood for something. They risked their deals, their reputations, even their safety to speak truth to power. Now, fans say the new generation's gotten too comfortable watching legends flip the script for a payday. One YouTube commenter didn't hold back. "We watched Snoop go from F the police to let me get that corporate check. That's not evolution, that's erosion." The words were harsh, but thousands agreed. Others pushed back though, saying it's unfair to expect artists to stay militant forever. Maybe Snoop's just adapting to survive. The world changed. Why shouldn't he? One fan argued. But DL Hughley's words kept echoing through it all. You can't criticize others for selling out and then do the same thing years later. That line hit deep, and with Snoop's name already tangled in Diddy's ongoing scandals, fans couldn't help but start connecting dots. The Diddy investigation had everyone paranoid, wondering who's really tied to who. Snoop's sudden friendliness with politicians only made people talk more. Some think he's cozying up to power to protect himself, while others say it's just another business move. But one thing's clear, every new headline adds another layer to the mystery. Then came the conspiracy wave. The Snoop plays for both teams team's theory started getting louder than ever. And this time, it wasn't just random trolls online. Real hip-hop insiders began speaking out. One former producer even dropped a bomb in an interview, saying there's way more to Snoop's story than fans realize. You never really know who's who in this game, one insider said. Some of the ones y'all think are the realest been playing chess while the rest still playing checkers. Fans took that as a direct subliminal toward Snoop, and it spread fast. Now, anytime something shady pops up in the industry, Snoop's name gets thrown in the mix. It's gotten to the point where nobody even knows what to believe anymore. The same man who once called himself the voice of the streets is now facing those same streets turning their backs on him. And in today's digital world, public opinion hits harder than any diss track ever could. What's crazy is, this isn't even about one performance anymore. It's about legacy. When your whole career's built on being authentic, one move like this can flip your entire image upside down. He cracked open a brand new conversation about what it really means to stand on your word when fame and politics collide. This one's got the culture split down the middle. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment if you want more deep dives into hip-hop's biggest moments, because this story's far from over, and the next one might be even wilder.